Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. So as you guys know, the Clash version 2s have been out for a few months now. But I keep hearing that they're different. They're too stiff. They don't feel like the old ones. They're not as plush as the version 1s. What's going on? Stay tuned. All right, guys. Good morning to everybody out there. Hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Coffee sponsor of the day is at Crawford's for you, and he writes, I am a high school tennis coach and I enjoy watching your videos. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. If you want to be my coffee sponsor of the day and hook me up with my dark roast, piping hot, burn your tongue coffee, network is buymeacoffee.com/tennis spin. Thank you all in advance. And as always, thank you guys for keeping the coffee train rolling. I appreciate all you guys out there. Ooh, that's good. If you want to support the channel, check out my merch at tennisspinusa.com. Got some cool hats, got some cool shirts. I've heard a lot of complaining, more than I thought I would, when the new Clashes came out. I mean, I knew just from doing my racket reviews of each model that the rackets are a little bit on the stiffer side, but I didn't think people would really kind of notice, just because when you get a new racket, it's naturally going to be stiffer than, let's say, an older Clash that you've been using for a year or two. But I'm hearing it more than I thought I would. So I thought I'd do a video that basically explains side by side what the differences are in the various models. Okay? So let's start with the best-selling Clash. The best-selling Clash is the Clash 100 regular. So the 10.4 version that's not 10.4 ounce version unstrung, okay, is their number one seller. I've done my own little chart here about what's changed in version 1 versus version 2. Now, Clash 100 version 1, okay? As you can see, not a whole lot of difference until you hit RA. And it's still not a whole lot of difference. Both of these are 16 by 19 patterns. So if you're going from version 1 to version 2 in the 100, you're probably not complaining very much. Or at least you shouldn't. Because the numbers are basically the same. The racket is basically the same. The stiffness rating came out a hair higher, but that really shouldn't change a whole lot. So going from version 1 to 2 in the regular Clash 100, probably splitting hairs there, okay? Not really much to complain about, except maybe you got a new racket and it's a hair stiffer, and it's a hair stiffer because it's a new racket, okay? Now, when we start looking at the Clash 100 Pro, right, we're seeing differences. So the weight's the same, the balance is the same. Swing weight, you get a little bit more in version 2. Beam is the same. Stiffness has changed. So we definitely went more stiff than the 100 here. So 59, so it's 4 points stiffer than version 1. Are you really going to feel that? Yes, you are. 4 points is actually pretty significant when you're, with a racket like a Clash Pro, because it's built soft. Especially if you've owned version 1, version 2 will definitely feel stiffer. Okay? But there's a reason why they did that. It went from a 16 by 19 to a 16 by 20. By adding that extra cross in there and bringing the strings in a little bit, they felt like they needed to stiffen up the racket a little bit to make it a little more livelier from bringing the strings together. So, do I feel like they needed to do that? Probably not, because this is kind of a weekend warrior type of a racket. But I think that Wilson saw it as maybe we can get a pro on it, because to my knowledge, except for maybe one woman on the WTA, no one's using a Clash. So they're thinking they can get like possibly a better player on it. Okay, so there is a difference in the pro. Now, the 98, which is, a popular racket of theirs too, on the, slightly better player side, intermediate to low advance. What's changed? Slight balance change. Swing weight hasn't changed. Beam has not changed. But look, we're getting higher now, 60 versus 55. So we stiffened up the 98, right? And added another cross too. Will you notice 5 points versus 4 in a 98? Yes, you will. Even if you do add that extra cross in there, it's gonna feel stiffer. So we took a soft 98, right? And we stiffened it a bit, but we added an extra cross. This racket is gonna bend more when you strike it. Let's say we did a blind eye hit, and you hit here and then you hit here. These are going to feel almost like totally different rackets. So, but again, for this particular model, they're trying to get like a pro on it. So by doing an extra cross and stiffening it up a little bit, I feel like they could definitely do that. But for you and me, we're definitely noticing the firmer racket, and it's not as plush. Okay? So now let's take a look at the lesser known 100 light. And let's take a look at the numbers here. As you can see, not a whole lot has changed. If anything, probably somebody sneezed and some numbers went off. So, version 1, version 2, 100 light, practically the same. Now, another major change happened in the 108. Weight is the same. Interestingly, balance is the same at even balance. So when it says even balance, it's pretty head heavy, okay? Because most rackets are head light. So even though it's in the balance is in the middle of the racket, that means it's pretty head heavy. So there's a lot of weight in that head. So interestingly enough, though, the swing weight increased with version 2. Even though they're both evenly balanced, they've put the weight in interesting places where version 2 is going to have more swing weight, probably near the throat. Now, the beam has not changed, but the stiffness has by almost 10 points. They made that 108 stiff and powerful. I mean, more powerful than the old version, because 63 is still not a gigantic number. I mean, in most graphs or charts, 63 on a flex scale is definitely on the lower end. So they definitely up the power for the people who probably need it, because you really want a stiffer racket on a 108. I haven't heard too many complaints from the 108 people, maybe one or two. So that's not where the problem lies, okay? The problem lies in the Pro and the 98. Like, this is the population that's complaining about the racket, that it's stiff. It's no longer soft and plush anymore. So, I feel like this is part of that 80-20 rule that, 80% of the people are gonna just go into the version 2 models and say, they're fine, I can live with it. 20% of the people are gonna be like, yeah, I like the old version more. And that's who we're hearing from right now. Probably a good amount of that 20%, because I hear it from the big guys too, like other shops, online guys. I mean, they're all liking the old version of these two rackets, especially more. So, but like anything else, as we get used to it, we're probably gonna not even remember this moment, as you guys probably don't remember or will remember. But anyways, yes, there is a difference. This is the transition phase. It'll be fine, okay? It'll be fine. Once they get rid of all version 1s, we'll all be into version 2, looking forward to version 3. And they'll make that one better for 80% and worse for 20%. That is just how the tennis ball rolls. All right? Thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Oh!
Great job, Aaron.
I got you, Rob, buddy. Look, I got you, Rob. Oh, hey. I got you, Rob. I got you, Rob. Thank you for the weekly lesson, dude.
Aaron, back up. Again.
Oh, I got you, Rob. I got you, Rob. I got you, Rob. Now, if you want a patient pro, just like Coach Rob, hey, Play Your Court is the place. Your pro can come to you, right? They can come out to your site. All you need to do is go to playyourcourt.com. You can even get a discount there. playyourcourt.com/tennis spin.
Harry, are you sure you're right-handed?